All righty. Well, good morning to you, uh, Yokema from the One team. We appreciate your time being here, taking a little bit out of your weekend to spend here at Node Nation and kind of answer people's questions, go over what you guys do over at One, your vision, and really what you guys aim to do, and sort of separate you from the pack as far as other projects in the DeFi space. So, with that being said, welcome and go ahead and give us an overview over what you guys do and what chain you're on and your team and everything.
Yeah, sure. So thank you for inviting me. In our team, we have 6 people. I am the founder. I basically worked the tokenomics and the model. So I'm French, but we will discuss the security aspects later, and there is no risk of work basically. We have 2 developers. Our lead developer is from Singapore. He has 17 years of experience in full stack development. Our front-end developer is from Pakistan. He is senior with 4 years of experience in front-end development. We also have one designer who is based in Lisbon, and two content writers who focus on basically making the model a bit more easy to understand, because we basically have 2 difficulties. The first is that the model is new, so it's not like you can look at okay, this is a Titano fork. I understand where Titano, so understanding the fork will be fairly easy. What we're doing is new, so you have to learn everything from scratch. The second difficulty is that it's a fairly complex model. I mean, for the investor, if you want to buy the tokens and sell them, it's very simple. But there are some things that are quite difficult to understand, like our main token, which is called Scepter. It is 100% backed by stablecoins, and it is decreased to always increase in value. It can be a bit hard to believe because it's something that we don't see anywhere else. But we've run a fair amount of simulations with like a lot of people buying or selling, or good market conditions or bad, and it does work. And the other thing is that people cannot buy or sell it on the DEXs or on the CEX for that matter. So we have a few innovations that require that when you're used to analyzing the tokenomics, you put some of the things that you think you know on the side to actually understand how bond works. Regarding what we want to accomplish, we want to make a model where you don't need to have a PhD in economics or 5 hours per day to watch and how the market evolves and everything to actually make some profit. What we want is that no matter when you buy, if you buy, you won't buy at the top and then the price decreases or anything, but instead you're quite certain that the price will keep increasing. So it's not going to moon like a Titano fork or a Ohm fork, and you're not going to have 5% daily ROI like a lot of nodes. But you also have the same safety or low risk profile as stablecoins, because it is backed by stablecoins. So we want to make an option for investors to have a low risk, medium reward investment. And I think it's very uncommon, because usually if you want low risk, you have low rewards. If you want medium rewards, you need medium risk. So we can deliver a very favorable risk to reward ratio, which I think is the most important thing for traders. And all of that with very little time that you need to spend on it, because often we talk about passive income, but I think that if you need to hunt for whitelist spots or for good entry points for several hours per day, it's not very passive. It's a full-time job, and we want to make it a bit different in that it's actually passive and it's actually sustainable. We don't have any Ponzi mechanics in there. So to go on with the Scepter token, there are several mechanisms to make its price increase. Basically, its price is calculated by the amount of Scepter tokens in circulation, and the full value of the Scepter treasury. So you take the value of the treasury, you divide it by the number of tokens, and you have the price of each Scepter token. So every time we can change that ratio between the treasury and the number of tokens, then we can increase the price of the Scepter tokens. And we have a few ways to increase that ratio. The first is that when an investor buys Scepter, he buys it above its backing price. And the gap between the buy price and the backing price will increase the price for all of the Scepter tokens in circulation. So it does look a bit like Ponzinomics, to be honest, if you just look at this part. But then we have a reverse Ponzinomics on the other side, meaning that if you sell your Scepter token, you will sell it at a discount. And that discount means that you leave a small part of your share of the pie, and all of the Scepter tokens that are still in circulation increase in value. So this is a reverse Ponzinomic model. And just with these two mechanisms, we see that the price can increase quite a lot. I'm not very confident about doing some predictions because it's a new model. I don't have a benchmark to say how many people will invest or how investors will feel about it. But there is a good return on investment to be made, especially if we consider the low risk profile. Then we will also invest the treasury. We will invest in low risk options like Encore protocol with some maybe self-repaying loans still based on Encore protocol. So we expect something like 50% APY on top of the other mechanisms that I described. So this is for Scepter. You buy it, you wait, because if you just buy it and sell it within a few days, you will lose money. But if you wait for some weeks and months, you're pretty sure to make a good profit on it. Then you also have the option of burning your Scepter. If you burn your Scepter, you lose it and you earn Baton. And Baton is a token that will deliver you weekly USDC airdrops. There is no token dilution there because the airdrops come from the investments from the Baton treasury. And that Baton we will invest in low to medium risk investment profiles. That means a lot of stable coins and blue chip farmings, and also some blue chip holding with some. Sorry?
I was just kidding. I said no nation.
Why not?
That sounds awesome, man. Sounds really good.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Excellent.
So,
yeah,
Blue had a question. When you said leave some behind part, do those tokens get burned or do they stay in the pool, or how does that work?
Okay, so let's say you have 10 Scepters and the backing price per Scepter is, let's say, $10. So if you sell 10 Scepters to the protocol, in normal conditions, you would get $100. But with the discount, if say the discount at that moment is 10%, then you still sell your 10 Scepters, but you only get $90. You don't have any Scepter less in your wallet, I mean, but the $10 will remain in the treasury, and they will increase the price of all of the Scepter tokens for the other investors. This is how this works.
Gotcha. Nice. Sounds good.
Beautiful. There are a couple of questions. At any point, if anybody wants to raise their hand and come up and ask a question, go ahead. I know that Wand, the team, was looking to give away a couple of their what are they, either renowned tokens, right? That give
reputation token.
reputation tokens, right? They give access to the governance as far as helping make driving decisions in the protocol. So they'll be giving away a couple of those. So it won't hurt your odds to come up and ask a question and participate in the AMA. So that being said, there were a couple of questions written out. Randy from Node Nation was wanting to know, because there's a little difference between buying price and selling price, and there's some approximation involved in there. What is roughly the spread looking like between those two figures?
So if there is not a lot of trading at that moment, you can see a 20 to 30% spread. But we have some dynamic pricing. So if a lot of people buy at the same time, the premium price will increase. So you will have a larger spread. And if a lot of people sell at the same time, the discount will increase. And this, I could share you the formula if you'd like, but basically we want to make it so that the treasury can increase quickly if a lot of people buy, and if not a lot of people buy at the same time, then you will have a fairly attractive price. And similarly, if not a lot of people sell at the same time, then you will have a low tax on the exit. And if everyone decides to sell at the same time, then the tax at the exit will be higher. So we want this dynamic pricing so that it always benefits the investors. And at the same time, we can make it so that it's not too restrictive for the people who want to buy and sell.
Gotcha.
Makes
sense to me. So then, on the heels of that, along the lines of selling, to his understanding, when you sell Scepter, the Treasury also makes a sell at the exact same time. So overall, will that have a net positive effect on the price, in the sense that when you the reduction in Scepter coins overall will be greater than the reduction in the Treasury?
I mean, because of the discount, when you sell your Scepter tokens, there is less than its equivalent amount of the Treasury that leaves the Treasury. So the more people sell Scepter tokens, the more there is Treasury per amount of tokens. That being said, of course, if 90% of the people decide to sell their Scepter tokens, the Treasury will decrease. But if the amount of Treasury per Scepter token increases, then it's still a net profit for each investor.
Gotcha. That's a cool design. I like that, actually. That's interesting.
We have a lot of positive feedback about it, yeah.
Well, don't be so modest.
I was at the beginning.
There you go. It's gotten to your head now a little bit. No, I'm messing.
A bit,
so,
yeah.
So, who do you consider as your competition, and what do you bring to the table that will make your project succeed in the short term and long term in relation to people taking away your market share?
So, our competitors are not the people that you usually bring in your AMA, meaning that our competitors are not nodes, because nodes are medium to high risk investments. Our competitors are more like Encore Protocol or some stablecoin farmings and lending platforms, because we have the same risk profile. So what we bring to the table is a much higher ROI, in the sense that if you go on Encore and you do some like Abracadabra, Digit Box or stuff like that, you can have maybe 100% APY. I think that we will have something much higher than that. I'm not saying that we will moon. We won't. Our tokenomics don't allow us to moon. But a fair increase over a few months, that's definitely something that we can offer. And I think that if you compare the not price action, but the increase of capital, if you compare Encore to us, you'll have a much higher increase with Encore Protocol. I've shared in the AMA our link tree. And if you want to look at why I say this, at the bottom of our link tree, you have the Wand Model Simulator. If you download it and you put a few numbers in it, like how many people will buy or sell Scepter, and how our treasuries will do, like will we be good investors or not, you can run your own simulations, and overall the results are pretty amazing. And there is no sign that we would not be sustainable. There is no token dilution. The more people join, the more the price of Scepter will increase, and the more we will have money in our treasuries. When we become big enough, we can act as an investment platform and participate in some private sales. And if we do so, then it will increase the value of our tokens even more, because we will increase the amount in the treasuries even faster. And that means a better ROI for Scepter and Baton holders. As to what we will do long term, I mean, we have a lot of ideas on our roadmap post-launch. But at the moment, I'm not really willing to take decisions about it, because this is something I want to discuss with the Governance Council, which is elected by the community and the community itself. I want us to have a vote about where we are going. So of course, I'm going to make some suggestions and argue in the discussions with the community. But because we invest the investors' money, I want the investors to actually make the decision of what we do with their money. So I cannot tell you this is what we're going to do, because this is not decided yet.
Gotcha. So when is your prospective launch date, if you're still settling on these certain things?
So we're looking at a launch in June or July, because we want a CertiK audit before we launch. So that will take some time. Before that, in a week or so, we are going to launch the Risk Treasury. We are in the process of raising some money for it. Basically, we want to do some high risk, high rewards investments with that one. And when we get some rewards from it, we distribute it to the Baton and Scepter treasuries. So it's a way to increase the rewards for the holders without the risk. And the reason that we haven't done it yet is that I am not officially KYC'd yet. I've had an interview with the House of Obsidian just a few days ago, and our lead developer has a planned interview with them on Monday. So the KYC should be official on Tuesday. We are already doxed to the Governance Council. They have seen our faces. We've discussed. They have a picture of our ID card. And there is a multi-sig implemented. It's 3 out of 4. There are 2 Governance Council members on it and 2 team members on it. So if I want to rug, and I agree with my developer to rug, we cannot do it, because we would need the approval of a third member, which is a member of the Governance Council. So in terms of safety, we have very high standards.
Nice.
Sounds good to me. We love a good multi-sig, and in this space, multi-sig is more valuable than a lot of KYC and
oh, absolutely.
And we've talked. Riddick and I have discussed that nauseum. Really, that KYC really has become not super important, but multi-sig, especially with multi-sig involving people outside of your direct influence. And we always encourage utilizing someone here from Node Nation to be on your multi-sig, as we're a pretty reputable source. You know,
well,
but
the thing is that we do the multi-sig with people elected within our community. Because let's say that I bring someone from Node Nation, and I trust you guys, this is not the issue at all. But if I do so, then it's me who chose someone else who is on a multi-sig. So for our community, you know, it's a bit less good than the people that they have elected.
Hey, I think election's a great idea.
Yeah,
I mean, with your community. I mean, that's cool. You know, that's thinking outside the box, man. I like that.
Yeah, and for me, they're
That's
very important.
good.
They are driving some debates as we speak about some NFT collection. Then they will drive some other debates about really they will shape the future of our project. So to me, they are a pillar of the project itself.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So you mentioned that your team has 6 people on it. And you said it's only one developer, correct?
No, two. One
Okay.
lead developer and one front-end developer.
How strong is the team's communication as a whole with those developers? Because you mentioned that they're in Eastern Asia, and between time zones and varying cultural backgrounds, it can sometimes be an impedance to consistent and clear communication. So how do you guys feel about your communication as a whole, as a team, with the developmental side?
So basically, the two content writers, they don't discuss with the developers much. So I'll just leave it on the side for this part of the discussion at least. There is a fairly good discussion between the designer and the front-end developer because the front-end dev needed the Figma and Zeppelin files to start working. And then, to be honest, the discussion is mostly between the developers themselves because I am not a tech guy. I've coded a bit of HTML some years ago, but that was bullshit compared to what we are doing now. I just don't have the skills to have an in-depth understanding of what they are doing. That being said, we do have a WhatsApp chat, just the three of us, so that whenever they have a question about the model and how it should be coded, they can ask me directly, no matter whether I have my computer with me or not. So the time difference is not that important, I would say, because our lead developer, he is going to go to bed in 1 hour or two from now, and it's 3 p.m. for me. So basically from 8 a.m. to 3 p.m. for me, we have a good window of discussion. And the front-end dev is somewhere in the middle for the time zone. So it's not really a problem. And regarding cultural background, I mean, obviously we come from 3 very different cultures. I don't think that it's actually a problem because we are fairly process oriented, meaning that I want to make sure that they understand how the model works, and they want to make sure, and they're quite conscientious. They want to make sure that they can implement it in a way that will work well. We share a vision about WAND and DeFi. So this is a bit premature for me to say, but we are likely to apply for the Union of Transparency. I say maybe because so far there is a consensus, but I want everyone to have until tomorrow evening before we formally tell Loki that we apply. And I think that this consensus within the team shows that we have the same vision of what's needs in DeFi. We need more education. We need more transparency. We need something that is also less stressful for investors. I don't think we talk enough about mental health in DeFi, but it can be very taxing. You know, when you go to sleep, you don't know what your wallet will look like the following day. And a fair amount of people have said, oh, yeah, I've been backing off because I've lost so much or because I've lost my sleep and so on. And I think that also having some safer investment options has some human value in that sense. Because if you have some money but you cannot enjoy it, then I think it's kind of missing the point.
Yeah.
Yep.
No, it's
Sure.
a great question. So, well, it sounds like you guys have really good communication with the devs, which is very important because there are some projects that really miss that mark and it sets back production a lot. And that's speaking from personal experience. So,
well, I mean, my day job is in communication. So we always work in teams. We always need some inputs from other people of the team. And so I'm fully aware of the importance of having some clear lines of communication with everyone.
Gotcha. So moving forward then, and after this question, guys, go ahead and feel free to start raising those hands, and the first person to come up on stage will go ahead and give one of those governance slots away too. So, nice and quick. Can you
And
tell us?
Go
ahead.
Also, whoever wants to come up on stage and ask a question can get a free platinum raffle ticket.
Oh, look at that! Node Nation bonus right there.
From Raffle Nation.
So
worth $5,000 if you win.
Wow! Can I get one?
I'm already on stage.
Can you explain how the Scepter sell price formula and buyback formula work, and are there a minimum maximum buy-in involved?
I mean, the question is, how do the formula work, and is there a minimum of purchase involved?
Yeah.
There is no minimum purchase involved, and the formula. So the two formula for when you buy and when you sell, they are mirroring each other. So if you understand one, you understand the other. If you buy a Scepter token, you will buy with let's say 10% tax, no matter what the market situation is. Then we have an additional tax that is dynamic. That tax is a function of the ratio between how many people have been buying tokens for the last 5 days divided by the full amount of tokens in circulation 5 days ago. So it's relative to the percentage of new tokens being minted over the last 5 days. It's everything is written fairly clearly in the white paper. So if you want, I can post the exact formula in the chat after the AMA.
Yeah,
because I think it's something you understand better when it's written, because it's math. So.
Yeah, no, please explain the math to me. Yeah, no, I totally agree with that. Yeah, hearing math is always a pain. So, Andy, he came in a little late. So you guys say that you plan on making treasury investments prior to launch. How exactly do you plan to fund the treasury?
So at the moment, we have said that we will be raising some money from a seed funding. The seed funding is made with community members, so it's not like we're looking at some whales or everything. We say that we are community driven, so that means people participate in the governance, people elect the governance members, they vote in the decisions, and they are the people who will fund the whole project. So at the moment, our decision was to raise 28K. We may increase it a bit because I think that we will have more investment opportunities than what we can fill up with just 28K. So yeah, we are doing a private sale, but basically public with the community members.
Gotcha. Good, solid answer. That being said, we got a couple hands raised, so we'll go ahead and bring up Chaps. You want to come up and ask your question? Try to keep it to one question per person, just so we can kind of move through everybody, since we're already at that 30-minute mark. What's going on, Chaps?
Damn it. I had like 12 of them. Well, okay, just kidding. Hi, guys. French here. So I'll make an effort and give you my best French accent. Okay, so you've seen a lot of what's happening on the non-market. So it's about your project, obviously. It's about more your vision than your project. So you see what's happening in the non-market right now. It's pretty bloody. And my question was more about what's your feeling about that, and how do you avoid being part of the bloodbath, basically?
Yeah, sure. So the first thing is that we are not a node. We don't have an APR or APY. The biggest problem that leads to token decrease is usually token dilution. Token dilution means there is a high APY or a lot of new tokens being minted where no new money comes into the token value. We don't have this problem at all, because the only way that a new Scepter token is minted is if someone buys it, and if someone buys it, then new money comes into the treasury. So our model is very different from that of a node. If you look at Baton, yes, you will get some USDC weekly rewards, so it has a bit of a node feel, but the rewards, they will come from the from what we will generate with the Baton treasury. So we don't give you, we don't generate USDC out of thin air, and we don't dilute our tokens, but instead we do some good investments, and when they work well, we give you a share of the rewards. The other part will be compounded, so that every week we hope that the rewards will be a bit bigger. So it's the opposite of dilution, because we expect the rewards to be a bit higher every week.
Okay. Well,
Perfect.
all right.
Question, chaps.
Thank you.
All righty. Go ahead and bring Randy up here. What's going on, Randy?
Hey everyone, sorry I'm late. Thanks for organising this one. It's been something that I wanted for a while. To be honest, I feel nervous now. So I haven't been up at an AMA before. But yeah, thanks everyone. This is a project that as soon as I seen it, I really wanted them to come to Node Nation and talk about it more. So I really appreciate you coming up and talking about one today with us all, and Spartan, Mascot, and Riddick for. I just had one question, which I'm not sure if it's already been answered, but it was to do with the NFTs and how they would work. Because I've read some of it and thought that there's some NFTs that'll be potentially be available before the launch of the project, and it was just more about them and how that works.
Okay, so I think there was a bit of problem in the network, so I'm not sure I understood everything. But your question is about what we're going to do with the NFT collection before launch, if I'm correct.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. So at the moment, this topic is being debated with the governance council and the community, so I cannot say this is exactly what is going to happen, because it's not decided yet. And again, we're community driven, so sometimes I'm just not the only one making the decisions. But my goal with this NFT collection is, first, we want to raise a bit of money for the risk treasury. Because the more money we have in it, the more we can kickstart it, and the more it will benefit the Scepter and Baton holders. The other thing is that because our full launch will be in June or July, I want to have some, let's say, smaller launches before that. Just to keep some hype, to keep the investors interested, and also to reach out to larger audiences. For me, the NFT collection is a marketing tool in itself. And the third goal is also to raise a bit of money for the team, because we've been working for close to 2 months without a single dollar in our pocket at the moment. And if we launch in 4 months, it's going to be a total of 6 months. And obviously, I would like to pay my team, because it's also a sign of respect for their work. So it's also a fairly important point. Regarding what will be in the NFT collection, what we are looking at, and this is still to be decided, but it would be maybe a share of the rewards from the risk treasury, maybe some whitelist spots, or some things that would increase the amount that you can have in your whitelist. A bit less likely, but maybe also some decrease in the selling and buy-in tax for Scepter, or maybe a slightly increase in airdrops for the Baton holders. So this is the options that we are looking at.
Perfect, thank you. Do you kind of have any kind of idea what you'd want to raise in that NFT collection?
I mean, the stronger the utility for each NFT, the more money we can raise. And I think it would not be realistic for me to set an amount of money that we will raise before we know the power of each utility NFT.
Yeah, no, that's fair enough. Thank you for that, and thanks for having me up, and thanks for answering my questions. Really look forward to the project, and good luck with everything.
Good questions.
Thank you.
Man. Good questions. All right, next up we got Little Grand. Go ahead and come on up. All right, well, while we wait for Little Grand to come up, we'll go ahead and bring up Partisan, silver member of Node Nation. And there's Little Grand. Go ahead, we'll start off with Little Grand, and then we'll get to you, Partisan. How's it going, man?
Not too bad. I couldn't find my avatar to.
Are you on mobile?
So basically, it's my understanding that you have two different treasuries, one for Baton, one for Scepter. Am I correct?
And the third one for the risk treasury.
Right. And the two Baton and Scepter treasuries don't intermingle, like they don't transfer across to each other. Is that correct?
So if you burn your Scepter, 90% of the value of the Scepter token will go to the Baton treasury. This is the most important way that we will fund the Baton treasury.
Right.
And also 33% of the rewards from the investments of the Scepter treasury will go to the Baton treasury. But those are the two only interactions between the two treasuries.
Okay, so there's no guarantee, and the investments in each treasury are different, correct?
Yes.
Okay, so first of all, how do you, like, let's say your investments don't do well in one treasury, because there's no guarantee that your investments are going to do well. One treasury may do much better than the other. I guess my main question is, why have a separate coin called Baton instead of just doing it all through Scepter and reflecting USD through Scepter? Because are you not worried that, let's say the Baton treasury does really well and the Scepter treasury doesn't, are you not worried people are going to liquidate Scepter to buy Baton? Because if that happens, it's going to screw up your Wand lending platform as well, is it not?
Well, if some people, like, let's say a lot of people say, okay, screw it, I sell my Scepter token. In this case, we will uncollateralize, like decollateralize our Wand tokens, and then we will use the lending platform much less, but it wouldn't be a problem in itself. Also, the Scepter token price increase will be mostly driven by people buying and selling. The fact that we will invest the Scepter treasury is actually much less important. I think it will be like a 20 or 50% APR for our investments. So given at the ROI that we expect, it's not much. The reason that we cannot just have some reflections for the Scepter token is that the Scepter treasury has to be very low risk investments, because if we don't do that, then we cannot almost guarantee that the Scepter token will only increase. If we back it with some Bitcoin or AVAX or Phantom or whatever, the price can decrease. And we don't want that. We want a safer option. So we have this Baton treasury that will be a bit higher risk. It can do much better than Scepter, yes, but it can also do less well. And I think there is room for both. I mean, as an investor, usually what we recommend is that you have part of your portfolio for high risk, part for medium risk, and part for low risk investment options. And Scepter and Baton offer a slightly different risk option. So I don't think that an investor will necessarily choose between the two. He can also have a bit of both.
Right, but if I'm an investor and I buy 100 Scepter, and let's say I transfer half of it Baton, and I'm noticing that Baton is giving out let's say the investments are really good in Baton, and I notice that it's giving out crazy USDC reflections, I'm going to move all my Scepter to Baton. Or chances are I'm probably going to, because, and I know that you're suggesting that people do something, i.e. 50-50 or whatever, but we all know how that works with the community. They go where the money is. So people will just liquidate Scepter to try and buy Baton, will they not? And that'll hurt Scepter.
It will not hurt Scepter because every time someone liquidates, sells or burns their Scepter, a small part of it stays in the Scepter treasury, so it will benefit the Scepter holders. So I think there is also some self-regulated kind of mechanics in there. But you're right that if you're not that interested in lower rewards with lower risk options, then you should go directly to Baton. But if at some point the market is red, your Baton will not give that good reflections. And there is also a kind of bias here in the sense that we are on Node Nation, which is a place where people are very comfortable with high risk, high rewards, and not a lot of aping and degen stuff, which is fine. But a lot of investors also want some low risk options. If you look at Encore Protocol, they have $14 billion invested there. So there is a lot of demand for low risk investment options. And it may be a bit ambitious, but what we want is to give the same risk profile as Encore and better benefits. So
that makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh no, it's an excellent design. I love the design.
It's kind of like our Node Nation membership NFTs. Those are our safe havens. Those are our low risk, guaranteed go up treasury. That's why we're so careful with it. And then, you got everything else that you guys do on the side for high risk, but you got to have that safe haven. And that's pretty much what it looks like they did.
Yeah, Scepter is designed to be a safe haven. But when I say safe, of course, it's as safe as DeFi can get, because the day that stablecoins are unpegged, we are not going to do well on that day. But my guess is that most investments will not do good either. So it's a risk that we all are wanting to take when we start having a MetaMask account.
Yeah, nobody would do good on that day. That would be, oh boy.
Gonna come with Tether. Careful.
Oh yeah, that's why we chose USDC airdrops and USDC to buy the token.
Yep. Yeah, Tether is.
We don't have any of our assets in Tether. Everything we do is USDC as well.
If any of you guys are holding Tether, you may want to reconsider switching those over to USDC or USDCE or even
BUSDC.
Yeah, anything other than Tether, as they've had a lot of legal issues regarding their actual backing and legitimacy as a team. And so there's a lot of uncertainty to their ability to remain pegged. So it's pretty well supported by most people in the space to not hold Tether. Not financial advice, just some keeping a word to the wise, from keeping an ear to the ground. So, well, great question, Little Grand.
Yep.
Partisan, did you have a question, my friend? If you're speaking, we can't hear you. My guess would be is that you're probably on mobile. So what you're going to want to do is close your Discord app, reopen it, and then come back up on stage. That happens to me sometimes. So if you do that and you raise your hand, we'll bring you right back up. In the meantime, there was a good question in the AMA questions channel. So everyone wants to be sort of a venture capitalist ever since the advent of Jade. But how can you be sure that you guys will make the right investments? And what experience does the team have with sort of large investment management?
So the first thing is that we cannot be 100% sure. That's why it's a high risk treasury. And that's why we separate it from the Scepter and Baton treasury. That being said, we have some partnerships with OnlyUp Capital. You may know them because they are behind the marketing of some strong brands like Aleph and Hive and a few other ones. We also have a tier 1 partnership with Presale Vanguard. They are very focused on security, and we, at first at least, we will rely to a fair extent on them to have some good investment opportunities. Then we want to be more structured. I want to hire a treasury manager. We don't have one at the moment, to be honest, but I will take my time to find a good one because it's a crucial mission. And by structure, what I mean is that we will have some guys from OnlyUp Capital and Presale Vanguard and some vetted crypto analysts to gather. And whenever someone from the community will submit an investment opportunity, we will say, okay, fill up this form. And then we will look at the opportunity that is given us. Is it something that has already launched? Is it not? Is it a whitelist? Is it a private sale and everything? We will gather and analyze it and make a joint decision. If it's below a certain threshold, then the community will go with the decision will go with the let's say analyst group, and if it is above that threshold, then it will be a community-wide vote.
So, makes good sense to me. All right, guys, we're coming into that 50-minute mark here, so we'll just bring up one more person. So all for one for all. Go ahead and come on up and ask your question. And then we'll kind of close out, and after this we'll have take a couple minutes to go over some offerings that we have on a daily basis here and why you should be a part of Node Nation, but we'll cover that after we finish our time with Wand. Hello?
So I think you answered most of my question kind of with the last question there, but I'm kind of wondering what percentage of both treasuries will be allocated to the risk treasury. Is that like a predetermined amount, or will that change depending on different factors?
0%. We do an initial seed raising for the risk treasury only. So we're not going to take away money from the Scepter or Baton treasury. On the other hand, the risk treasury will invest it. 33% of the rewards will be used for like compounding or new investment opportunities. 33% will go to the Scepter treasury, and 33% will go to the Baton treasury.
So there won't be any funding of the risk treasury out of the other two. It'll be all separate.
Yeah, and that's important because otherwise we would have to decrease the price of Scepter token, which I'm not very keen to do, or decrease the amount of money in the Baton treasury, and that would mean less rewards for the holders.
Okay. All right, yeah, that's all I got. Thank you.
Alrighty. Well, good stuff. So as we come into the close here, Yukema, do you have any sort of closing remarks or any really core points that if you could tell anyone about Wand, the number one thing you'd really want them to know about your project as to why they should be involved?
So to us, transparency is very important. We want to do something new, something safer, something more transparent and community driven. So you've heard me talking. What I would recommend is that you go through the white paper, you make yourself your own opinion. The best thing that I would like as the project founder is that we have a community that knows what the project is all about, that gets involved. Involvement will be rewarded with some utility NFTs. And the end goal for me is that at some point I will step back from being the project leader, and that it will work as a DAO. And it will keep working well and evolving even when I am not here. So this is my ultimate goal.
Nice.
Gotcha. Beautiful.
Awesome, man.
Thank you to everybody that's been here from the beginning. We value your time on this Sunday. I know that a lot of people are with family. I mean, I'm even visiting family, right? So we appreciate everyone from Node Nation for taking the time to come out here and hang out with us, and everyone from the WAN community coming here to spend time and hang out with us. And a big thank you to you, Yelkema, for you and coming out here and representing your team and taking time out of your busy day, I'm sure, to really break down and explain to us what WAND is, where it's going, and what you guys want to do with it. For everyone interested, we highly recommend you stick around, as we're going to be doing a little abbreviated AMA here about Node Nation and what we offer for our bronze, silver, and gold memberships, and a little bit of the future of Node Nation and what we do and where we're going and why you should be a part of it. So that being said, big thanks again to Wand, and we hope to have you back in the future for sure. You guys are awesome.
Sure. Thank you for the invitation, for the questions,
Thanks
and
for coming, my man.
and see you another time.
Yeah, see you, brother.
Thanks,
you so
buddy,
much.
man.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks, guys. What's up, No Nation? What's going on, man? I think we might need to bring Little Grand back up if he wants to come back up. If he gets any questions about the Spartan NFT project. There he is. What's going on? But yeah, guys, feel free to raise your guys' hands if you want to come up and ask questions about the Node Nation stuff. I see we got some new members that probably don't really know much about it. So basically, we got a lot going on right now. Treasuries are looking good. Got funds transferred over to USD. We're going to be doing a land auction for all tiers this Tuesday. So basically, when we buy these properties, basically we're buying properties about a mile from the beach from where I am in Florida. So we're getting them pretty cheap. And then basically try to flip those within a couple weeks. And we actually might even raffle some. That might be a good option for us too. So we'll add that to Raffle Nation, which is another Discord that we just started, where we're raffling off a Gala node. We're also raffling off a Platinum NFT membership. So basically, that's looking pretty cool. But yeah, so we're going to be flipping some properties. We're going to try to keep 50% of the profits that roll back into each particular treasury, because each tier has its own treasury. It's not all one. So 50%, try to keep 50% back to the NFT holders per NFT. So it's an equal split per NFT. And then that way the treasury always grows on every flip, but so does your rewards. So, because it'll be more to be able to invest the following week. So, but yeah, no, looking great. NFTs hopefully will be dropped this coming week. I'm hoping Josh can get the platinum and the diamond ones done, and then Little Grant can finish up that contract. So that's looking good. But with that being said, if anybody's got any questions, any new guys, right now I think we only have bronze and a few silver available. So, but with that being said, man, you guys raise some hands, man, if you guys have some questions. So there's a lot going on right now. And if you also have any questions for Little Grand with the Sparta NFT project, come on up as well. And for the guys that did come up on stage too, I wrote your guys' names down. So when you go over to the Raffle Nation Discord, fill out that paper for the bronze. I'm sorry, no, the platinum, and just put instead of payment, just put AMA winner on there, and submit one ticket for the platinum membership. With that being said, Little Grand, you got or Bino, do you have anything to add to Spartan NFT project as well?
Go ahead, Bino.
Dino there. Dino. Mic off.
He probably is on mobile. Probably need to restart your app.
Yeah.
Basically, it's a group of NFTs that will be sold to everybody. Once it's all sold, and even if they don't all sell, we'll start. It's going to create a treasury. Bino, you talking?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can hear you.
now
Go
I can
ahead.
hear you.
All right. So yeah, Sparta NFT is a node giveaway project. So we're going to have 3,000 NFTs. Holders will be entered into weekly giveaways. We're looking to invest our first treasury funds into Power, Thor, Strong, Drip. So we have diversification across different blockchains, across different projects. One thing that makes this project unique is, in addition to giving away nodes, giving away tokens that add up to the nodes, is once our treasury hits a liquid value at different thresholds, at different milestones, we'll also be giving NFT holders value. We're thinking AVAX because that's the chain that we're on, but we're going to be giving NFT holders a certain amount of value. So, for instance, once we hit 300,000 in the treasury and there's 3,000 NFTs, then each NFT holder would get $100. And so that raises the intrinsic value of the NFT. So then at 600,000, there's $200. Those numbers aren't set right now. It's actually going to be a higher value. But that way, in addition to the chance to win something, you're also guaranteed getting that AVAX or getting that value back in holding. So right now the minting price is going to be around $100, and within a year, depending on the price action of the projects we get into, you can make that back very easily or multiply that value as time goes. Also, for Node Nation NFT holders, a portion of the proceeds do go to Node Nation Treasury. So not only does this benefit you guys indirectly by or directly by getting those nodes, winning those potentially, but it also benefits the projects that we invest in, as a portion of the treasury goes into Node Nation Treasury every week. So there's a lot of benefit for Node Nation in general, because this is a Node Nation project and we wanted to make sure we gave back. So that's my little blurb, that's my plug. So
Nice.
just wanted to add that in there too.
Awesome, buddy. Appreciate that. Yeah, man, things are looking really good. Our treasuries are going to be based on, really low risk crypto asset yield, and the other half is basically real life assets, that are on a rise. I mean, the property around here in Florida has increased 2 to 3x in the last 6 months, so it's just been crazy. But yeah, it's important to diversify our treasury,
Oh yeah.
into more than just crypto at the moment right now. So that's what's pretty sweet about it, so. But yeah,
That will be the same with the Sparta NFT. It'll be the same design as well. We're going to look at real world application like validators and stuff like that.
What's the marketing plan for that? Surfskate is asking, what's the marketing plan for the Sparta NFT?
Yeah, so current plan is just the organic growth, but as we progress, we're going to be getting involved with some Twitter influencers. We're going to go to different servers and get some AMAs, and then also look at other influencers on different social media platforms, namely YouTube, because we know that there's some big names out there, but it's Twitter, YouTube, and then other Discord servers.
Gotcha.
nice. Awesome. I mean, I want to get we can even get some land and hard assets over to the NFT project, so. Like I said, we got that Gala node going for raffle at Raffle Nation. actually, guys, too, I'm getting the merch store going too. So the No Nation website we'll be working on hard as well. So that way, it'll have all No Nation projects on the website. It'll have reviews for other projects. So that'll be pretty sweet. But yeah, excited to get the merch store up and running as well. Having some No Nation license plates made up, if you guys are interested. So I wanted to get one for the No Nation black Corvette Stingray we got. That would be a surprise later.
I'm
But
excited. I'm gonna
no.
have to come back into Florida and borrow that for a weekend. That'd be fun.
Yeah, buddy. So no, things are looking up. We should score some pretty good assets this Tuesday at auction. So, like I said, man, these treasuries are designed to go only up. That's our safe haven for all of us, and have rewards at the same time as your treasury NFT value goes up as well. So it'll be exciting to see once these things get dropped and are tradable as well. So, I mean, the value is it's only going to go up, being so limited. So, and for you guys that don't know too, you have to have at least a bronze membership to unlock a lot of the channels here in No Nation and be eligible for giveaways for like white listings and all that other stuff. So most of the great channels for non-members, you can't see them. Gen Chat is usually pretty dead. That's not where everybody talks. So you don't really see the behind the scenes of No Nation until you get a membership. But with that being said, man, happy Sunday, man. I'm headed back out on the boat, you guys. So you have a great day.
Alrighty, guys.
And,
Thanks for spending time with us today. And as always,
feel free to DM me if you have any questions as well. So just shoot me a DM.
And this
my man.
AMA will be recorded and uploaded to the past AMAs by at least end of day today. So we appreciate everybody sticking out to the end. And I'll make a little announcement that if you came up on stage to DM the head of WAN so that he can get you involved with that governance token.
Yep, and I wrote down everybody else too that for the raffles that came up on stage.
Perfect.
That will get a ticket. So. All right, buddy.
Guys.
You guys have a great day. Happy Sunday.